So here was my Shop My Stash bag for May. So as I said, I'm going to pull out all of my project pan items, and then what I think I'm going to do is pull out the items that I didn't use, put those aside, talk through them a little bit, and then I'll talk through the items that I did use. Okay, so that was a little bit confusing. I was having to rack my brains at what I'd used and what I hadn't. So I'm going to start off with just briefly saying that my project pan items are always going to stay within my Shop My Stash bag until I've either used them up or have had enough of them basically and want to move them out of my collection. So these are all just going to stay at the side for now. And then I've put over here all the items that I did use. So my Danessa Myricks Essentials Cream Colour Palette, used this a couple of times, really enjoyed it, but I didn't use it as much as I'd hoped. RMS Uncover Up Foundation, wasn't sure how I felt about this and was actually considering decluttering it, but I think I want to keep it in for another month and just use this with my other project pan foundations and just have that as my foundation products for the month of June. So I'm going to put this aside because I want to keep this in. I think I actually love it, but it's just one of those that I've had to sort of get to grips with how best I like to use it. Glossier Skin Tint, only used it once, but as I've already explained about the other base products, I am going to be putting that back. I really enjoyed my Glisten Up Mist from Fourth Ray and Colourpop. I love this mist, but I don't like the spray. It's very aggressive, deposits a lot of product, so you end up soaked, but I do love the way it sinks into my skin with the aid of my powder puff and how my skin looks when I've used it. But I am going to put this one back to use a different one. My little sample of my Milani Prime Perfection, used this a couple of times because it's just a sample size. I think I'm just going to keep this one in. It doesn't take up much space and I'm just going to use it until I've used it up. I discovered a new favourite with my Glossier Future Dew. This has actually been featured in my top 3 makeup products in every category as one of my favourite primers, so absolutely loved it. Definitely will be pulling this out more, but I am going to put it back for this month. My Weleda Skin Food was another one that became a favourite and was in the same video. I am going to keep this actually with my skincare, so not in my Shop My Stash bag, but I've decided I had got it with my primers, concealers and foundations, but it's the type of product that if I'm having a particularly dry, dehydrated day, whether I'm wearing makeup or not, I like to put a little bit of this on. So I am going to add this to my skincare tree and just pull this as and when I need it. I do use it as a primer rather than as a moisturiser. I use it on top of my normal moisturiser, but I think I'll do better having it with my skincare rather than my makeup, so that will go over there for now. I'm just pulling things at random. Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Sin, another one that has become a favourite and a staple within my collection, but I think I'm going to put it back because I'm finding that I'm wanting to use just this and not my MAC paint pot, and I'm trying to use up my paint pot in Laying Low, so I am going to put this one back for now. And speaking of my MAC paint pot in Laying Low, I am sort of getting through it, but I think I just want to focus on this as my only eye primer for the month of June and see how far I get with it. It's probably going to be time soon to get rid of this because I've had to mush it up once because it was quite dry, so I'll see how I get on with it throughout June. This is a product, the Colourpop Light Sticks in the shade Hope Street. I actually decided I didn't like this. I tried it once, didn't like it, tried it again to see how I really felt about it, and I really didn't like it. It's a very glittery highlight formula, and the glitter doesn't blend into the skin no matter what method I use. However, my mum absolutely loves the Colourpop Light Sticks and she quite likes glitter on her highlights, so I'm going to pass this on to my mum. So that's one that's gone out of my collection. Another item that became a firm favourite and was in that top 3 in every 3 video. This is the Glossier Stretch Concealer. Another one that I found myself constantly using and not using my Project Pan item. I am going to put this back for now because there's some other concealers that I've had in my collection for a while that I want to get some use out of. Soul Body, my Super Shock highlighter in the shade Soft Pink. Used this a couple of times, really enjoy it. Had no issues with it, so I'm going to put that back into my collection. NARS Laguna Bronzer. Actually used this a couple of times, even though all I wanted to do was use creams, but I did get a couple of uses out of this month and I really enjoyed it. It's still good, still applies fine, but I am sort of ready to move solely onto my cream products, so I'm going to be putting this one back. My Got To Be Glued Spiking Wax. This didn't get much love from me this month because I bought the Pink Honey Wonder Wax in the shade Chocolate, so I found I was using that constantly over this, but I do like to keep this in this bag just for, you know, for when I fancy using it. So I'm actually going to just be keeping it in here with the rest of my Shop My Stash Project Pan items. And rediscovered old favourite is the Urban Decay Naked Press Powder. I've actually made more of a dent in this. You can see sort of where it was when I started using it this month. But yeah, I've rediscovered this powder, really been enjoying it, but I am going to put that one back into my collection. There's nothing wrong with it, it's still absolutely fine. I was worried it might be due to expire, but it's perfect. There's no issues with the formula, so I'm just putting it back. My Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette, I actually only used this once. I used it as a finishing powder, but I used this one thinking it was lighter than it actually is, and it's more of a bronzer this is on me. So what I'm going to do is keep this out, try it again in some different ways and see how I feel about it. But I'm not a huge powder lover, to be honest, and I just never thought to reach for this. I like the way my skin looks without powder on it, so I'll see how I feel about using it throughout the month of June, and then it may, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but it may be one that ends up getting decluttered. My Fenty Beauty Diamond Bomb highlighter. Used this a couple of times, absolutely love it, love the formula. It is glittery, but it's like the good type of glittery, whereas the Colourpop one is like the bad type of glittery. This is a cream, sort of like cushiony highlight formula, like a putty I would say, and I'm absolutely loving cream and liquid products at the moment, so loving this, but I am going to put it back and use something else. MAC Blazing Hot powder blush. I've used this a ton. I only used it once this month, but it's one that has got a lot of love in my collection. You can see I've made quite a dent in, like, this was all raised, this bit here at the bottom. So I'm going to be putting it back because I think this month I just want to use cream products for blusher, bronzer and highlighter. I think I'm just going to stick to creams for the month. And then I've got my Fenty Beauty Kilowatt highlighter. I've got the shade Girl Next Door and Chic Freak. Absolutely love this highlight. I love the Fenty Beauty powder highlight formula, but I'm going to be putting this back. My NARS Orgasm Multi-Stick. Used this a couple of times. Again, I absolutely love this product. Nothing wrong with it, but I'm going to be putting it back to try something else. This is a Bare Minerals face and body glimmer powder. I only used this once, but it was so pretty, but I do think it'd probably be a powder that I'm more likely to use for super glam makeup looks, and perhaps take it onto my shoulders and chest. So I am going to be keeping it, but I'm going to be putting it back because it's not something that I, you know, feel the need to use on a regular basis. Oh, that's my project, in my project pan, my Hoola Quickie Contour Stick. Glossier Dusk Cloud Paint. Absolutely love this. Used it several times. My little NARS Orgasm in the powder form. Used this once. Absolutely love this blush. Going to be putting it back. My Benefit Foolproof Brow Powder. I actually only used this a couple of times. I was intending to get a lot more use out of it, so I think I am going to keep this one out for this month. MAC Sweet Illusion. I only used this once. Really pretty as a brow bone and inner corner highlight, but I am going to be putting it back. Then the last eye products that I've got are eyeliners and mascaras. So for my mascaras, I was just focusing on the two that I had open, which was my L'Oreal Telescopic Extra Black. It's still absolutely fine. I thought I would probably be getting rid of this ready for the next month, but it still feels like it's got lots left in it and it's still super wet, so I am going to be keeping that one out. And then my MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. This one is starting to feel like it's getting quite empty, but it is still quite wet, so I am just going to keep these two as my mascaras for the next month. And then I think especially the Extended Play Giga Black Lash, I think it'll probably be time to retire that one at the end of June, and probably the Telescopic as well, to be honest, because I've had them quite a while. The liners that I used this month were the Beauty Pie Goldie Shadow Stick. Really enjoyed this. I used this as actually as an eyeliner on my lower lash line, and I also used it in a look all over the lid. Really pretty. Was hoping I'd get more use out of it, but I am going to be putting it back. And then the two liners that I've worn them constantly each time I've done my eye look is Revolution Pro Nude and Colourpop Overboard. These are the most, like, the easiest liners to use that I picked for the month, but I am going to put them back and use something else. Absolutely loved having my Glossier Boy Brow in the shade Black. This is on its way out. There's not a huge amount of product left in this, so as with the Benefit brow powder, I am actually going to keep this to use through June, and then I've got a funny feeling it'll probably be ready to retire it at the end of June. I forgot to mention this with my base products. I didn't use this month. There's only perhaps 1 or 2 more uses in this It Cosmetics CC cream sample, so I'm just going to use it like with the Milani until I've used it and can just dispose of it. And then lip products. It wasn't a great month for lip products. There were several days where I just wore lip balm and no lip product, or I just throw on my Fenty Glow lip gloss. I absolutely loved having this. I am really enjoying putting a lip gloss in my Shop My Stash bag, but I have plenty other lip glosses that I want to get use out of. Really enjoyed this, but I'm going to be putting it back. I only wore my Jeffree Star liquid lipstick in the shade 818 once. I wore it on a day that I had to wear a mask over it, and it did not hold up at all. In fact, it left an epic mess all over my face and my mask. But I'm not ready to get rid of it yet, so there's nothing wrong with the formula. It's just not a product to wear under a mask, so putting that back. I enjoyed my Just a Tint crayon from Colourpop in the shade Overexposed. Wore this as a couple of times as an alternative to a lip balm. I went out on Sunday night, like properly out for the first time this year. And because I'd got to wear a mask, I didn't want anything too over the top, so I just slicked this on, and then I just kept reapplying this throughout the evening, so I really enjoyed having that. I also felt the same way about this MAC lipstick in the shade Quite the Thing. I did similar with this. I used it as a balm because it is one of those like balmy textured lipsticks. So really enjoyed having that, but I am ready to try something else in my collection. I only used my YSL, that's the wrong one, YSL lipstick once. I just used this light pink shade. Really loved the look, thought it was really pretty, but as I say, it wasn't really a good month for lip products. And I used all of these lip liners at least once, but I'm going to be putting them back for some other products. And my eyeshadow palettes, the one I got the most use out of was my So Jaded palette. Still not as much use as I would have liked, but I did try some new products this month, which is one of the issues I think I found this month. I've had quite a lot of new makeup recently, and I've been using that on certain occasions, so the Shop My Stash stuff got neglected. But used this about 7 or 8 times, and even if it was just for one shade, but I really enjoyed it. I just think the Colourpop formula is really solid. So used my Ace Beauté palette twice. I just used the shade Saffron and Aubergine. Oh, and I also used the shade Moss just on my lower lash line in one look. So not used it as much as I'd hoped, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Used my nude palette only once by Huda Beauty, which was such a shame. I was hoping to get more use out of that. And same with my Lost in Los Angeles palette. I only used this a couple of times. I used the purples and the peaches, and I used this shade Starstruck. So bit of a disappointing month product wise. And then these were the products that I didn't get round to using at all this month, which as you can see is quite a lot. I am going to be putting all of these back. I'm not keeping anything out except for my Helio Care gel colour cream, my SPF 50. This is one that I'm just going to keep constantly in here. It's the SPF that I like to wear when I'm wearing makeup. So all of these didn't get to see the light of day but like I say, it's just been not a great month makeup wise. So I'm going to put all this back and then we can look at picking my products for June. Okay, so I've had to bring the drawers onto my bed rather than take you over to my storage, just because I'm actually filming this at night and the lighting is abysmal over in that corner of my bedroom. So at least I can use like my ring light here. So what I've decided I'm going to do for base products is, obviously I've kept the Milani Prime and Perfect sample, and I've also got my MAC strobe cream in my project pan. So I think I'm going to be good there for primers, but I think I'm actually just going to put in this little sample of Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream and just use that as an alternative primer, and I can also like mix in the MAC strobe cream with this. So I'm going to use that. I've had it sitting in my collection for ages and I've not used it, and it just seems daft to just keep it sitting there, so I'm going to use that. And then concealer, I'm going to use my Becca Under Eye Brightener. I've also been struggling with a bit of redness lately, so I'm going to take my Becca corrector in the shade Pistachio. I've started using some acids, reintroducing acids into my routine, so it's causing a little bit of redness to my skin. I've got my Revolution C9 concealer in my project pan, but I do need a slightly brighter one, so I think I'm going to use, there it is, my Nabla Close Up Stay Full Smooth Concealer. Another one I've had in my collection for quite a long time and I've never really used it, so I'll pop that one in. And then base products, I think I'm good. I don't think I need anything else for this month. So let's move on to cream blush, cream bronzer and powder. Okay, so I've had quite a few new products in this area, and I've also got some more that I haven't used yet that will need to go in here, so this is looking rather fuller than usual. Powder wise, I've got my 2 project pan powders and I've kept the Hourglass powder. I don't think I'm going to take any more powder because I'm not wearing powder all that often at the moment. I tend to only use it sort of under my eyes at the most, so I don't think I'm going to take any more powders this time. I really want to get some more sort of evident use out of my project pan powders, so I'm just gonna stick to those for this month. As far as cream bronzer, I've got my Benefit Hoola Quickie Contour, but I think I want to take one of my Fenty Beauty ones, so I think I'm going to take the shade Butter Biscuit, which is the lighter of the two I've got. I've got Butter Biscuit and Macchiato, so I think I'm going to take that one just to give me sort of a bit of variety. And then cream blush. Now this month I don't actually think I'm going to take any powder blushes or powder bronzers, so I'm gonna take obviously the majority from here. So I think I want some of my Fenty cream blushes. So I've got Cool Berry, Strawberry Drip, Rose Latte, Bikini Martini, Rose Latte, Strawberry Drip and Cool Berry. So from these I think I'm going to take Strawberry Drip and Cool Berry. I prefer these sort of tones for the autumn and winter, so I'm going to leave those in here. I didn't use my Colourpop blush stick at all that I took. Oh, I'm going to take this one, this Beauty Pie in the shade Santorini. Unfortunately this isn't available anymore. This is actually a highlighter, but on my skin tone it's definitely more of a blush, so I'm going to take that one. And then I don't know whether I want to take a Colourpop one as well. Let's, I think that's kind of a nice like peachy neutral, so I think I'll take that one. That's the shade Aloha. So that's all I'm going to take out of this drawer. So I am going to pull over my powder blushes, powder bronzers, just to have a sort of little look. I might pick from there, I'm not sure. Okay, so this is my powder, blush and bronzer drawer. I think I don't think I want to take a powder blush, but I think I do want to put in a like a glowy powder bronzer. So I think for that I'm going to take one of my favourite bronzing products in my collection. This is the MAC and Sharon Osbourne collection split pan. It's like a bronzer, and I think this is soft and gentle, so I'm going to take this one and get some more use out of this. This is an item that I'll probably never get rid of. I just absolutely love this product and I really enjoyed that collection. I only had this item from the collection, I think, because it was all sold out. This was the only item that I managed to get, but I do really enjoy that. So on to highlighters. I have just pulled out these face palettes. I'm not going to be using a face palette this month. I think I want to go for creams as with my blush and bronzer, and I think what I'm going to go for this month is this Beauty Pie Triple Luminizer. This is just like a go with everything, sort of like champagne gold. It's super pretty. I love the formula. It's like one of the Denisimovic Dew Wet Balms or the Vive Skin Dew. It leaves that lovely like juicy, not really sticky, but it doesn't dry down either. So that's the sort of highlight that I've been going for lately. So I think this will look really pretty. I have got the powder highlight that's in the Sharon Osbourne bronzer if I want powder, but I think I'm going to take this Colourpop Super Shock highlighter. This is in the shade Might Be, which on initial application looks as though it would be too dark for me, but you can blend it in to be just a nice like peachy gold highlight, and it just looks really nice over the top of like my bronzer rather than as like just a highlight to stand alone. So I think I'm going to take that one. Just it's still perfectly fine, it's still really nice and moist, but I've had it a long time and I haven't used it all that much, so I want to get some use out of that. And then I think that's going to be it for highlight. Okay, eyeshadows is where I definitely want to limit how much I have. eyeshadow and lip products. I was just overwhelmed by the amount of eyeshadow palettes and that I picked last month, so I want to keep it really super simple. And I also want to get more into sort of one and done eyeshadow looks. I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I didn't want to do a theme this month for this Shop My Stash. I just wanted to enjoy the makeup that I enjoy, and those kind of looks are warm, soft, neutral, smoky eyes, and recently one and done shadow looks using creams and liquids. So for the palettes that I'm going to take this month, I think I'm just going to take I'm going to take my Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette, and I think I was thinking of taking this little Dior palette just for if I want something a little bit more colourful. There's these like pretty soft pink tones, so I think I'll go for that, and I think that'll pair quite nicely with the Soft Glam palette. And then next I just want to pick a few one and done shadows like creams and liquids. Okay, for my one and done shadows, I think I'm going to take a couple of my crayons. I didn't do so well with these this month, but I am selecting a lot less this month. I know I definitely want to take the shade Terra by Nude Sticks, and then I think I'm going to go for this one, Fauna by Beauty Pie, which is more of a cool toned one for if I want to go for like a cool toned look. And then I'm going to take, I think I do want to take one of my Stila liquid shadows. So this is the shade Jezebel, which is like a pretty rose gold. Actually feels a little bit dry. Yeah, that's dried up look, so that's a no. Let's try out the others just to make sure they're okay. So this was the one I had in my Shop My Stash. That one feels okay. This one's the shade Kitten. That feels much wetter than that one. Yeah, and that one's fine. So I'll take that one. Let's just try. Oh, didn't try this one. Yeah, that's fine. That's really creamy and moussey. And then the glitters. That's absolutely fine. And that's absolutely fine. So that's really strange because all these were bought in a kit at the same time, but it's just this. Oh, you can, I mean, you can see it's just like falling out. Weird. Okay, so that's a surprise declutter. So that's all I'm going to take for out of here. Now let's do liners, mascaras, all the miscellaneous stuff. Okay folks, so it's the next morning. I had to finish last night. I was absolutely shattered, falling asleep where I stood. So got myself a coffee on the go, and we'll pick the last few bits of makeup. It's better doing it now anyway because the light's so much better. So I need to pick setting spray, which I think I'm just going to take my Cover FX illuminating setting spray. This is one of my absolute favourites, so I think I'm going to give that one some love. And then I think I want to take a pigment, only one, but I never give my pigments any love, so I think I'm just going to pick one of my pigments. That's a glitter. I don't really want glitter, I want like a pigment. It's a glitter. It's like a rosy gold. Well, that could be good. That's like a champagne colour. That's like a nice nudie colour. And then this one, which is more of a straight up gold. So I think I'm actually gonna go for, I've got Kitten in the Steeler Liquid Shadows, so I think I'm going to go for the gold one. So this is the shade Melon. It's Melon pigment from MAC, so I'm going to take that. And then for liner, I don't really want anything colourful this month because I'm going to be doing mainly nude looks. So I think I want to take my brown fluid line from MAC for sort of like I want to do some like brown smoky liner and that sort of thing, so I think that'll be good. And then I think I want to try doing a black wing, so I'm going to take my little sample of Kat Von D tattoo liner, and then for my waterline I think we'll go for, that's one of my favourite pencils and I use it quite a lot, so let's go for, no, that's not going to work. Let's just go for a classic black. So we'll go for Feline from MAC. And what's this one? That's another black. Those are my Victoria Beckhams. I think we'll go for this plummy coloured one from Colourpop. This is in the shade Charmer. And I think I had that one last month. Where is my Teddy pencil from MAC? Okay guys, it's really odd but I can't find my MAC Teddy pencil liner, so I don't know whether I've decluttered it and forgotten about it. I'm not sure whether it broke or what, but I've just grabbed MAC Duck, which is very similar to the Teddy. It's a brown liner, but Teddy's got a little bit of a shimmer to it. And then I've got Colourpop Creme Gel liner in the shade Hustler, which is like a a shimmery grey. So that's going to be my liners. I don't need to take any brow products, but I do want to take this YSL Full Metal cream shadow that my mum gave me. Sorry, it's not focusing for some reason. Right, so now all that's left to do is lips. So for a lip gloss, I'm going to take my Anastasia Beverly Hills in the shade Caramel. And then I never wore my Nude Sticks lip crayon last month in the shade Rebel, which was this nice like pink. I don't think I'm going to pull that one again. I think I'm going to take this shade from MAC in Aim to Please. I do have another one. Maybe I'll take the two. So I've got Aim to Please and Oh Honey from MAC, so I'll take those. And then what I'm going to do is take my lipsticks over onto the bed. So I want a MAC. Okay, so for lipsticks, I want to pick a lot less than I did last month. So I've already got the 2 lip crayons and the 1 lip gloss. And then I think I'm probably just going to take another 3 or 4 actual lipsticks. I've been feeling a bit like uninspired by lipsticks lately. I do have a lot of new ones in my sort of new stash of products. I've got a video coming on a range of lipsticks that I bought, and I think that's why I've not been really using the lip products in my Shop My Stash, because I've been using a lot of new stuff. So I know that I think I just want to sort of stick to the nudes for this month. The last couple of months I've picked a lot of colour, same as with my eyeshadows, and I'm just feeling like a nude lip and eye. So let's have a look what we've got here. I've got the shade Cream Cup by MAC. It's one of my favourites, as is Flesh Pot. These are all quite new, sort of like my newer MAC lipsticks, because I did a big back to MAC and I managed to get quite a few lipsticks with the products that I returned, the empties that I returned. This is the shade Peach Blossom. I kind of want to use some of my older MAC lipsticks. Those are brights. This could be a good one. So this is MAC Shy Girl. Lovely peachy nude. I think I'm going to take that one, definitely. And this one. So this is the shade Hue. This is another one of my ones that's had a lot of love from me. So I'm going to take those two. So the shades Shy Girl and Hue out of my MAC lipsticks. So this is, in here is Charlotte Tilbury, Fenty Slip Shines, NARS, Vive, and my Dior's, oh, and my Fenty Mademoiselles. I think I'm just going to, this is a bit random, I think I'm just going to take this little sample that I've got of Charlotte Tilbury Walk of Shame, just for something a little bit more vampy. And I do want to buy this in the full size when I've used this little sample up. So I think I'm just going to take that one. I haven't really took like a balmy formula one. So maybe one of my Fenty Slip Shines. I absolutely love these Fenty Slip Shine lipsticks. They're some of my absolute favourite formula. So I've got Cookies and Cream, which is nude, Bubble Rum, which is a nice deep chocolate, but they're quite a sheer formula. And then my favourite one is Goji Gang. And then I've got an orange, a pink and a clear that's just got a little bit of shine to it, like shimmer particles, which is this one in Quartz Candy, which is just this nude one. So I think I'm actually going to take this one to use. So that's 4. Do I want to take another one? Yeah, I am just going to take one more lipstick, and that I want to take one of my Melt lipsticks. Now Melt have recently reformulated all their lipsticks. I don't have any of the new ones, I only have the old formula, and I actually do really like these. They are a matte lipstick, they're quite drying, but the colours are so fun, and I think I just want one that's a little bit more sort of a fun, just to have like one fun colour. So I've got a fun colour and then like a more vampy one, and I think I want to take this one. So this is the shade Summer, which is a lovely pretty peach. So I'm going to take that, and that'll be it for my lipsticks. So I've got these, and then I've got the crayons and the gloss. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to take you back over to pick my lip liners. I'm just going to pick a few lip liners to match the lipsticks that I've got, and I'll probably just pick 3 nudes. I'll show you what I've got when I've picked them out. So I've picked my lip liners. So I've gone for Oak by MAC, Bittersweet by MAC for a lovely like grungy dark brown, and then I've got Foxy Nude by Primark, which will go with the like the peachy tones, and then Desert Sand, which is more of a rosy brown, which I thought would go nice with Walk of Shame, or Walk of No Shame, sorry. So that's all of my products selected. So now let's get everything sorted into the makeup bag, and we'll just do a quick review of what I've chosen. Okay guys, so that is looking so much better than it did last month. Last month I really struggled and had to organise it a very specific way to get everything fitted in. So I'm much happier this month, and I don't feel as overwhelmed, and I actually feel a hell of a lot more inspired this month with makeup. So I also have got still quite a large collection of new makeup that I haven't tried, a mixture of drugstore and high-end, so I will be pulling from that bag throughout the month of June. But I'm really excited about this. I'm already envisioning some really pretty glowy bronzy looks. So I really hope you enjoyed my Shop My Stash for June. I'm now going to stalk the Cult Beauty website until the Natasha Denona Zendo palette is launched. I had my alarm set, but I've been awake since like 6 o'clock waiting for it to come on. My basket's ready to go, I just need them to launch it so I can buy it. I'll hopefully see you in another video soon. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you could do. It really helps me out. I'm really close to 100 subscribers, so any new subscribers, I really do appreciate you. I know I say that in every video, but I really truly do. You don't know what this channel and having this distraction means to me. So keep loving yourself, keep loving each other. Remember, you're beautiful, strong, and you were put here for a reason. I'll see you in my next video, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.